In this lesson, we'll be using Adobe Photoshop to generate sliced images to be placed inside of a table, which will be exported in an HTML file. Once we've done that using Photoshop, we can bring it into Dreamweaver and apply some JavaScript rollovers. So you need a little bit of prep art for that, and what I have here are two layers inside of my Photoshop file for the different states of these tab buttons at the top. This is the normal state, and if I turn on the over layer, this is the mouse over state. So I'm going to turn that off for now, and what I need to do is create some slices, again, that we ultimately will export as separate images, and they will go inside of a table. So I'll just go first to get my slice tool, which is nested with the crop tool. I'd been using it, so that's why it was in the forefront. Slice tool. And basically I'm going to create one slice with the slice tool of this home button, and then switch over to the slice select tool and simply duplicate that slice and resize it and rename it. And we'll also create a big slice for this banner section as well. So we do need to be very zoomed in. It needs to be pixel perfect here. So I'm going to get quite close. And with my slice tool now selected, I'm just going to draw a box around this first home button. I'm going to keep it above this yellow line, and I can see here I have to go up by 1 pixel that way, and you can adjust with these little handles. Once you've established the size, and maybe zooming in closer might even be better, I do want to capture that 1 pixel line of the drop shadow on the right, and it looks like we're good here. So I'm just going to go out a bit and double click it, and by double clicking it I'm calling up the options dialog box, and I do want to establish a naming convention for these slices, which will ultimately be the names of the files. So I'm going to start with nav underscore name of the button home underscore 01, and the second set of buttons will have a 02 at the end. So that's one button. Click OK. And I've created my first generated slice. So I will move over now to the slice select tool, and just using my spacebar move this over a bit, and then with my option or alt key down on the PC, I can hold that down. You can see the little plus sign, which means it's about to duplicate when I click and drag, and I might want to hold my shift key down to constrain that and just snap it to the left, and then you will need to adjust the width. Some you'll have to make longer, some you may need to make shorter. Again, capture that 1 pixel gray drop shadow on the right, then you simply double click and rename. So I'll just rename the middle part local news. OK, and click alright, click OK, and I'll actually reduce a little bit here and move around, and again with my slice select tool and my option or alt key down, I click and drag. I am holding my shift key as well to constrain, bring it flush with the left, and adjust the right side to size it perfectly. Double click it, rename it. This one's Campus News. Campus News. Click OK, and on to the next one. And it'd be prudent to save this as well every time. I'm just going to do a save as here. And I am using the 2020 version, so even if you're using an older version, it'll be exactly the same pretty well. And I'll just call it slices 2012 underscore done. OK, and OK. And I'll continue on here. I'm going to zoom out a bit, and I think I have 4 more buttons. So with my slice select tool again and my option key down on the Mac, alt key down on the PC, I will just bring that flush left, and maybe I do need to zoom up a bit, and just adjust the right side, double click it, rename it. So that's pretty well the assignment. Let me go over to a finished version that I have, so you don't have to watch me draw all of those boxes. I did create one more large one here that you can see that basically entails this whole banner so that it wouldn't be cut up in a whole bunch of little leftover slices. Double clicked it, named it nav underscore banner. Now the next step is to actually export this as slices inside of a table cell, all inside of an HTML file. So I think I'm going to create a new file on my desktop when I export this, And the way we do this is under the File menu, Export, Save for Web. And you'll get a dialog box here. Now you do want to format this as well. I'm going to zoom out. You can zoom out in the window here, Command minus, and select all your slices by dragging across all the slices. Then we preset or use a preset, and I'm going to use JPEG High. You need to select, you can have different presets for different slices by selecting them individually and setting the formatting for each. We have basically JPEGs, GIFs, and PNGs, which we can get into more detail on another lesson. But for now, I've selected all the slices, set them to JPEG High, and click Save. Now don't go too fast on this. You're going to get a second dialog box here. Number one, where is it going to be saved? I will go to my desktop for the sake of this demo, create a new folder, and I'll call it Sliced Navbar. Okay, sliced, not slided. Sliced Navbar. Okay, so that's the name of my folder. Now down here is where we need to get into the details of the settings. Click on Settings and go to Other. It will pop open an output settings box like this. And I've noticed in the 2019 version there's a little bug. It seems to pop behind this window and you may need to move it over. But nonetheless, the output settings box, we want to scroll through here until we see the box that has Put Images in Folder, and we'll turn that on if it's not already on. You can establish the name of the folder here. I would recommend, if it doesn't say Images, use the name Images. This will create a subfolder, and all your sliced images will neatly go into that folder. And I click OK on that. And then under Format at the top, HTML and Images. And for this first run, I do want to select all slices. So HTML and Images, Settings, set it to save in a folder called Images, and Slices, all slices. I click Save. And let me just open up that folder for you. And here it is. And here are all the sliced images. And you can see the unique names for my buttons at the top here. Now the only other thing I need to do now, which I'll do presently, is to create my second set of slices for the rollover feature. So it's kind of a rinse and repeat here, except that all our slices are done, so it's going to go much quicker. We just need to rename these slices and turn on the graphic layer that changes the look. So I will zoom up here. While still on my Slice Select tool, I'm going to go into each of these and change that 1 to a 2. 2. Okay. And just go down the row and change them all. Got 4 more here. Alright, a little bit of the grunt work. But ultimately this will create a nice effect as a rollover feature. Okay, and I have one more here. Alright, so this time though, I don't want to select all slices, and I want to make sure the folder feature is turned off. So let's go again here. File, Export, Save for Web. Let me just zoom out here. Actually, maybe I can open this box as well. There, I'll just do it that way. Select the first slice, hold your Shift key down to select the next selected slices, and you're just going to select these tabs. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Make sure only those are selected. Keep it on JPEG High. Click the Save button. Go into your Images folder, and under Settings, Other, we'll just make sure that Put Images in Folder is unchecked. Click OK. And it will save the second set in here, but we only want to choose Images Only and Selected Slice. Okay, and here we go. Save. And it saves immediately. And now you can see the number 2 versions of all of those buttons. And that's how we slice them. In the next lesson, we'll learn how to consolidate all of this in Dreamweaver and create our JavaScript rollovers.